So yeah, you don't like horror, but you did enjoy the movie for what it was.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the movie for what it was. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of slapstick humor, a lot of pop-up moments with the rat just like jumping around and doing
Did
funky
did
stuff.
did you? And David is like that all the time. By the way, we just point that out.
Yeah, I was really sad that he wasn't at MegaCon. I would have liked to meet him. I met Michael Evie, I want to say, if I said it
Oh
right.
yeah.
So yeah, so everybody out there, go check out the movie, read the article Paul wrote. If you're in America, you can get it on streaming services. They do have a DVD Blu-ray combo, I believe.
Yep.
Correct. Yep. So that's exciting. But also what's exciting as well, Paul, is that Fallout Season 2 just wrapped up.
Yep. So now it's in post-production, baby.
And let's hope they move it quick because I want to see it. I want to see it right now. Ella Purnell has done an amazing job in Fallout, and you can kind of see her rising up as an actress right now. And, you know, some people might say actor, some people might say actress. Everybody still says different things. However, if you want to say actor, it's fine. But she's rising up, doing great things, becoming well-known, great projects. So I'm excited for that.
Yep, and we don't have a release date for that new season yet.
Don't
We did get one for what's it called, Peacemaker today. As a matter of fact, I'm going to look that up because we have a release date for the new Peacemaker season. So,
speaking of Peacemaker, Jimmy Palmiotti posted Amanda Connor's cover for DC's Black Label, and it has a therapist talking to Peacemaker, and Amanda Connor tells the story perfectly for Peacemaker in the cover, right? So
nice, yeah.
Peacemaker's laying on the couch, he's smiling, like laying on the therapist's couch, and on the top of his speech bubble, it's him standing on a bunch of skulls waving a flag. In the therapist's speech bubble, it's him on vacation in a Hawaiian shirt. So that tells you Peacemaker thinks of vacation as a violent resort.
Yeah. So it's August 21st, 2025 will be season 2 of Peacemaker.
Wow. That's been like on hiatus for a little while, right?
Yeah.
James Gunn did promise that Peacemaker's part of that universe. Like he really wants some part of his DC legacy.
Right. Looks like I'm reading some stuff on the thing that Superman, the spin-off series Waller was prioritized over the season, but Waller was delayed by the 2023 labor disputes. And in 2024, Gunn announced that the season would now come first because they are going to do a Waller spin-off series based on Amanda Waller and her little group, which should be interesting because everybody loves to hate Amanda Waller. So,
oh, that is true right there. A lot of people do not like Amanda Waller.
No, but if you get the right actress in that part, it's fun to watch because she's just so nasty. You know, she's.
Well, very true.
And let's see. And some filming occurred taking simultaneously with Superman. So we also know that Superman's going to be coming out. Both of them finished shooting in November, or at least just finished shooting in November. So we got a lot of DC goodies coming out soon. When I say soon, I mean next year and a half. So, hey, there you go.
Did I ever tell you the story about what happened at when I was at the location where we were doing interviews in San Diego Comic-Con and the actress for Lois Lane passed by? Lois Lane, I should say. So she passed by, and obviously she has to have like security when she's walking around like a very big area of people in her hotel, right? Because anybody can go to the hotel, right?
Right.
And the security guard like pushed me because he thought I was in her way. I was just standing there talking to somebody. I just get pushed to the side, like
wow,
like that. I was like, okay. Obviously, I didn't make a scene or make a big dig about it because if I did, like, it would have been pointless. They were already gone. Like, that's how quick they walked through. And what was I gonna do? Be like, dude, you pushed me? And he would be just looking at me like, what?
Well, that's when you put on your full Goombot thing, man. You're like, hey.
Hey,
Watch where you're
you
walking.
right there. Forget about it. What are you doing? No, but yeah, it's crazy stuff.
Ah,
And then we have Netflix.
no, we're not going to tell you they're raising rates again because they haven't announced that yet.
Hey, the tariffs could affect it somehow, right?
They if he's going to affect if he's going to tariff Hollywood, non-Hollywood movies, then yeah, good. Yeah, because
But there's some.
Netflix has a lot of foreign films in their library right now. If you go look, seriously,
Oh, Bad Boys coming out as well,
yeah.
which is based on an Israeli TV show.
Oh, but yeah, Netflix is a bunch of series, a bunch of shows have been canceled. You know, why not? We go through this every year. Everybody knows that Netflix series, they go about 3 seasons and Netflix is then done with them. That's just the rules at Netflix, I think.
They drop it like a bad habit. Yep.
So let's see, what do we got here? Let's see. The Recruit, The Empress, Territory, and The Sandman. So I've heard of 3 of those. I haven't watched any of them. Okay. Actually, I take that back. I think I did watch. I may have watched The Sandman. I have to go look because The Sandman is. I can tell you why The Sandman got canceled. It's based on a Neil Gaiman character,
Yeah, he's having a lot of issues right now with the accusations.
and
I don't know if they've been settled.
A lot of the projects with his name tied to it, like that, have been dropped like a bad habit. So, so it may not be because nobody was watching it. It's just because because when they do those title things, it has to say Neil Gaiman's The Sandman, and they probably don't want to have his name splashing up on their screen. So
Yep. Yeah, he's going through a lot of things right now with a lot of accusations. I don't know how it's going to be settled. I don't, these things could drag on for a little bit, but I think he's been pretty much canceled across a lot of different projects.
yeah, oh yeah, they when all the big story came out, they listed a bunch of stuff that they were doing with him that has been canceled. Um, the one show that they've been doing with what's his name, David Tennant, where the angel and the demon or whatever, that one will do its last season, but he's not involved. So, but yeah, most of other stuff that he was doing, because for a while there he was getting hot, now he's going to be cold as ice. Yeah. So that one I understand. The others, like I said, the only other one I even heard of was The Recruit, and it was I mean, I don't remember. I think I remember being. I want to catch that, but now I have a problem. If I want to catch something and all of a sudden they announce that it's going to be canceled or they're not going to do anymore, a lot of times I won't even try. I won't bother. Well, if this is going to end after 6 episodes, why am I going to take my time and get invested in it just to go know that there's no more? So it's so those are the ones that we know about. And knowing Netflix, there's probably a couple other shows that will never show up again. Like I said, they do about 3 seasons and they're done. That's just standard. They did that with the Marvel stuff. Yeah.
Yep. Wow. Speaking of Marvel stuff, I'm glad to hear that the Daredevil series on Disney is kind of doing well because it really brings the Kingpin into the light, and he's one of the best characters in the Marvel universe besides Juggernaut. I will say Juggernaut.
You're never gonna no.
Juggernaut is still the best character. His armor just makes him so cool.
The only way we're gonna see him is if he's sitting in a diner in the background eating food, and somebody like you points out, "Hey, look in the background back there next to that."
No, no. I hope not.
Well, and he would only show up in an X-Men movie anyway. He wouldn't show up in any of this. Correct? He's part of their side. So
the Deadpool series of movies kind of made him look like a joke to an extent.
Yeah. Well, he kind of is. He's a big doofus,
Such a shame. Such a great character. So much potential. Marvel really need to they really need to utilize him. And speaking of Marvel, you see this whole thing with the Thunderbolts.
I want to see that movie. I heard nothing but great things about it.
Oh, Red Guardian's a cool character for sure. But the thing I want to say is that it's just crazy to me how they had the asterisk besides Thunderbolts all this time to become the new Avengers.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that to happen. I don't know if that was like if people knew about that plan.
Oh, I did read something about that. And people were saying, why did they did it so soon after the initial release? Why didn't they wait a little bit to make that big push? That was the only thing I saw is people were like it released and a week later they said, oh, by the way, it's like, really? That's don't give anybody really time to see the movie, but okay.
If there's one thing here that I can think of that Marvel could have utilized this for and done really well with is the fact that with Thunderbolts, what if, because they were going to make it the new Avengers anyway, what if they would have filmed, let's say, like 30 to 40 minutes of different scenes they could have spliced in each movie to make it almost look like you have to watch both movies to get the full story?
Yep.
That would have been kind of cool, right? That would have been really cool.
By the way, I'm seeing on my feed here that and this is just a rumor, it looks like from the Hollywood Reporter, that X-Men movie is eyeing the Thunderbolts Jake Shearer as director for an X-Men movie. So
oh yeah, Rob Liefeld made a post about that, mocking it, saying if only people knew how many people turned down that job.
Yeah.
But I gotta be honest, I don't know why anybody would turn down that job because it probably pays well.
Well, because the script or anything could be in development hell.
Now, that's a good question. Do they get paid for Marvel while it's in development hell? Like if there's a pause on it? Or they're like, hey, the rest of your check's on hold until we figure out what we're doing.
Yeah, I don't know how that, because that's the thing they run into is, okay, now I'm obligated to do this thing, but if this thing is delayed, that's how come a lot of, after the writer's strike, a lot of actors were all of a sudden gone out of, because they couldn't, because they were obligated to move on to other stuff already. So yeah, so it always creates an interesting situation. So
yeah, that's an interesting situation. Yeah, I didn't think about that. You brought that up, development house. So I'm curious how that works out. I'm gonna have to ask some people now because I want to know. The other thing is Courtney Lynn, who's a friend of our show, and she's an anime voice actor. She is now on several episodes of Night Court. She posted herself in the chair over there at Night Court. So I thought that was pretty cool to see that because she's transitioning from just being a voice actor to also now doing TV projects and film, which for a lot of people it can be difficult to transition only because you still have to apply for the role and try out for the role, and you might not get it. So when a voice actor can transition that way, or an actor can transition into voice actor too, it's really cool to see that because now they have two sets of skills they can utilize and prove on their IMDb. So congratulations to Courtney Lynn, our friend, for making that happen.
Okay, so apparently, according to her IMDb, she's in one episode, season 3, episode 17. So,
yep, but she posted that she's back on the lot,
and that one already. So it looks like that episode's already out. So I'll have to go back and watch it again to see. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, everybody in the chat? Web Dave, thanks for stopping by, man. Thanks for the shout out there with the like button. Timmy, what's going on, bro? MSG Gaming, what's up? And Rose, thank you for stopping in.
So yeah, it looks like everything else on her IMDb, with the exception of, actually, it looks like, well, she's been busy for the last year or so doing a lot of voice acting stuff. Jeez.
Yes, and
so
go ahead, Paul.
She was in the show Ted, the TV show they did about the stuffed bear. she was a college girl number two there. So, but yeah,
Yep.
for the most of her stuff is definitely voice acting. But she's had a few appearances. So
So I just want to give the reason why I want to give her a shout out is because she has offered to do the voiceover for the documentary that we've been trying to produce on
oh,
cosplayers.
nice.
So we do so far with the documentary. I want to give everybody updates for some of the cosplayers that have appeared in it. I want to thank them very much. We got some footage of that, and we've been pitching it to Netflix and Tubi and a couple other places. Uh, it's still in early development, so it's kind of like I would say development hell for me because I have to
Yeah.
do all the grants and the film festival submissions and try to get all that organized. But Courtney Lynn has come in like a hero and offered to do the voiceover. And from there, it's exciting. It's an exciting thing to learn as I go. And once we get enough funds for production and be able to travel with it and a crew, I will have Paul be one of the camera rig operators on a cart, and he can move forward and back with the camera as long as he don't hit anybody in the face.
Which I might, just because,
Yep. So excited for that. And man, let's talk about something that Xbox has done recently that they came out on top on the PlayStation sales charts.
Yeah. Well, we got to have some good news from them.
Wow, Paul. It's always good news from Xbox.
I know a lot of people that would beg to differ right now. No, what it is, and we're going to talk about, I guess we're going to talk about this again. I mean, everybody's, decrying the console thing, the raising prices, and, they're shifting. I don't have a problem with that. Look at the PS5 games. The top games being sold right now are all, top. Let's see, top. Let's see. We topping their list is Elder Scrolls, Oblivion, Minecraft, Forza. Claire Obscura, Call of Duty. You know, so I mean, from a business standpoint, they're doing what they need to do. They're all about making money. I mean, if I'm in a business, you put it out in front of more people, you make it available to more people, that's more money for you.
Yep.
And I got no problem with that. It's like with Doom the Dark Ages, same thing. Doom the Dark Ages is coming out. I just got gifted the $30 upgrades, and it's going to be on Game Pass. So basically, they got $30 from me or my friend actually, and then but anybody who doesn't play it from Game Pass is going to pay the full price, be it 70 or $100. So that's all gravy to get to Xbox. I'm really getting tired of all this whining about, well, they've turned their back on the console player. Well, now we don't know what they're doing with the next. We do know, at least at this point, that they do plan on having another console. So I'm not worried about it. And everybody's freaking out because Gears is going to PlayStation. Okay, for those of you who are not paying attention, the Gears of War that's going to PlayStation is a 20-year-old game. Okay, it's not like a brand new game, and pretty much everybody who's on Xbox or PC who's wanted to play it or own it has. So what they're doing is they're saying, okay, if you haven't played it, you haven't owned it, you want to buy it, hey, guess what? It's coming for you now, and now you can invest in that IP as well. My roommate here is looking forward to it. He loves Gears. It's one of his favorite games, and he hadn't known an Xbox for quite a long time, since I think he said the 360. So he saw that today and he's looking forward to it. So I think you're going to get a lot of that, which means he's probably going to pay for it, which means it's money in Microsoft's bank for a game that they've already developed over the last 20 years. This is not a bad thing to happen. As far as I'm concerned, I don't care if the older IPs, even if the original Halo goes to PlayStation at some point. Okay, how does that hurt you? It doesn't, but it helps the company that, so they can continue to do stuff. And, Rule number one for any company is to try to make money for the investors. And this is a great way for them to do that. And it doesn't affect me one iota. It doesn't affect me if people play it on PlayStation. Doesn't affect me if people play it on Nintendo Switch. Doesn't affect me if people play it on the refrigerator. I don't care. Yeah, and it doesn't affect most of you either. Even if you're going to complain, oh, they lied to us. They're turning their back. No, they're not. They're just widening the net. Is all they're doing. So, yep. So that's where I'm at with this. Sorry, I got a little preachy.
No, you're good. No, but it's really good to see them diversify their portfolio as far as where you can play Xbox games. And I think for a long time, a lot of people wanted this. Like a lot of casual fans really wanted Xbox to spread out. And, you know, they did hit a little bit of a difficult spot these past generations with the sales of the console and the reach of the console. In North America, you know, the reach is great. But outside of North America, it does have some trouble reaching other audiences. So Game Pass came in clutch. It really brought more people in. And now the fact that you could play their titles on PlayStation, it's opening to more people.
Yep.
And the fact, let's talk about the Oblivion Remastered was at the top of the PlayStation show. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
I didn't think that was going to happen. Honestly, I played Oblivion Remastered, and I got to say, I love it. Like, I really think it's a fun game, and I feel like I'm back in Skyrim all over again. Yes, on PC, it lags a little bit, chugs a little bit, but it doesn't stop me from playing it, right? Like, it's only when I'm running in the wild that happens, but when I'm doing quests or talking to people or trying to pickpocket, I'm just having a fine old time with that game.
Yeah, I played a little. I've been playing a lot of stuff a little bit though lately, so I'm all over the place right now. But yeah, what I did play of it looks really cool. And so yeah, and that goes back to what I said. I mean, it just if it's that big of a big deal, that means people are looking forward to it. People wanted to play it over on the PlayStation. So hey, that's a win for them. You know, this is in no way should this be considered a bad thing. That's what I don't get. Yeah, you know, it's like people don't want to share their toys for some reason. You know, so it is what it is. You know, so I mean, Indiana Jones. You know, it came out a couple months ago for the PlayStation 2, and it's still on their top chart as well. You know, so again, as a business, they're doing something right. If you're if you're the hardcore, that's on you. Because the hardcore is not the audience that the wider audience that they're trying to get. You know, and guess what? If you decide, well, I'm never going to buy another Xbox console again, I'm going to play on PlayStation, I'm going to play on my PC, and you're still going to buy the game or play for Game Pass, you're still paying money to Microsoft, and they say thank you.
That they do. At the end of the day, you're still supporting the company. You're supporting the publishing house. You're supporting the developers. So that's all that matters to keep getting good games. I do honestly feel like that we're headed towards a gaming crash. You know, not because of Microsoft or because of PlayStation. I just think that we have hit a part in our climate of economics where they just want to keep raising prices. And some of it could be out of fear of tariffs. Others could be because maybe a few investors are pushing for price increases. But I think some part of the population is going to be priced out at some point, and that's going to cause a loss in sales. Because if you look at like high selling games, you'll notice that a lot of those have lower price tags. Like if you price your games lower, you move more units. So GTA will
that's economy 101 though. You that's a balancing act, you know. You price it lower, you sell more. You price it higher, you get more, you get more money from fewer people. So you've got to find that sweet spot where you kind of hit both, you know.
That's true. Oh, absolutely. So we're kind of like at that moment in gaming, and now Nintendo has made some announcements in a recent report that was on MSN.com. Is that they are looking at the possibility of tariffs causing a price increase across the Switch 2 after launch, and then depending on demand how well it does with demand, they may increase the price as well for that. So that's to be seen. But Paul, any thoughts on
that? Everybody's going to be raising prices. I mean, you'll notice that. Yeah, I saw the same thing, and they didn't get it. They're not getting as much heat as Xbox did last week. Yeah, you know, um, but yeah, so it is what it is. We're just gonna have to write it out. And I say that, and last week I pointed out I'm gonna be one of those people that may end up getting priced out. And so I recognize that for what it is, but no matter how much I complain and whine, and I can still see the other side of it. And yes, it's going to have a negative impact on me if it follows through the way it looks like it's going to go. But part of me is probably because of the fact that I've been the way I've been my whole life is, and nothing I can do about it, and I'll deal with it when the time comes. That's how I kind of made it through a lot of my life, actually, with a lot of different situations. I mean, I can let them know that I'm unhappy, but I'm one guy. What are they going to do? Oh my God, Cerebral Paul's upset. We're going to have to go back and not raise the prices. Yeah, they don't care. Okay, I'm just telling you right now, they don't care, and most of you out there don't care either that I may get priced out. So it is what it is.
It'll be interesting to see with GTA 6 what happens, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of GTA 6,
quick though, since we are talking about prices, I will say that, by the way, in case you missed it, Mafia, the old world, had their thing today. They did two things. They released their gameplay trailer, and then a few hours later, they had the panel at PAX East, which was on the Xbox channel and a few other channels, including IGN. Their price point is going to be $50.
Amazing. That's really cool.
So they are not raising the price of that game, and that price comes out at pretty much 3 months from today. So
I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna be a good game. I like Mafia games. I think we need more Mafia stories in games.
And this is old school. This is old school Mafia. This is going back to Italy. This is a prequel, baby.
The Sicilians, right?
Yeah.
Yep. I'll tell you what, they don't eat pineapple on pizza, Paul.
No, I mentioned that in the chat too. Like, I bet Enzo didn't have pineapple on pizza. Yeah.
What's up, Graphic God? Welcome to the show, the Paul and Carlo show today. But GTA 6, I kind of want to talk about that because Cliffy B posted something saying that he was really excited for it, and I'm not too excited for it. I gotta be honest with you. And not because I don't like GTA. Like, I really like the style of GTA games. And I think the graphics look amazing in GTA 6. I cannot say that they don't look good because they really do look good, despite what some people are trying to pinpoint. But I am tired of the Bonnie and Clyde storylines. I'm tired. Bonnie and Clyde weren't the only gangsters in America, okay? And everybody wants to do a Bonnie and Clyde story. Bonnie and Clyde are probably the most least interested of all people. Hey, let's go rob banks. We're part of a gang. Oh, let's try to escape and then get shot up by the police. Okay, listen. It's not that interested. Okay? Billy the Kid's legend is more interested than that. I'd rather have like a Western, okay? Like, I don't know. I just gotta say that.
Well, GTA did a Western. It was called Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yes, and that was great, okay? But there's so many other genres of things that we could do with GTA that they could have done outside of Bonnie and Clyde. And I haven't watched that, but it looks okay. Now, if they would have gone more the Mickey and Mallory route from what is it? The movie with Woody Harrelson, where they did their Bonnie and Clyde thing, and they were just oh yeah, Natural Born Killers.
Yeah. That was the Quentin Tarantino take on Bonnie and Clyde, which was awesome.
Yeah, no, I mean, okay, look, Natural Born Killers, though, went beyond just Bonnie and Clyde. They went way beyond Bonnie and Clyde, okay? Bonnie and Clyde were just like stick-up gangsters, and I don't know, maybe they had a few casualties here or there, but I just don't
they did. Clyde definitely killed some people, yeah.
but they're just not interested. To me, they're not interested. I'd rather have a Crazy Joe Gallo story, because Gallo had this charisma and a psychotic side to him, and he loved Hollywood, and he loved actresses, and he had girlfriends, right? And he had just such a dramatic life. That would have been more interested. Okay. Traficante would have been a more interesting story.
Well, to be fair, we don't know the full story of what they're going to do either. So, but
it just looks like Bonnie and Clyde, man, with a romance. Like, hey, my girl's in prison. Can't wait to get out. Then we're going to go, do some things, stick up some things, and see what happens. That sounds like Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah.
I just... Somebody replied to me and says, what about Bumpy Johnson? Absolutely correct. We could have had a Bumpy Johnson story. It would have been more exciting to me. Like, I think Bumpy Johnson is one of the stories that is not told as much. And I know Mafia 3 kind of tried to, like, mimic some things, but it really wasn't there with Bumpy Johnson. So that would have been more interesting, and his ties with the Italians as well. Like, he had a strong tie to the Italians back then. So that would have been cool. A biker gang kind of thing, like Sons of Anarchy, would have been really cool. I don't know. So many opportunities here, Paul.
Actually, a Sons of Anarchy game would be awesome. I got to say.
Dude, imagine a biker gang story in GTA style. Like, that would be really cool. That would be awesome.
Yep. That would be, I would do that in a heartbeat. Yeah. Gee, now I want to get a hold of some of the Sons of Anarchy people that we've talked to and say, hey, go talk to the writer. Let's get some licensing going, because all those actors are still alive. They could voice act. They could do the voiceovers for the actual stuff.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Well, there's plenty of real life bikers too. That
the untold Jack's the untold story. We could get some of the other stuff that we didn't see on the show. Yeah.
Yep. And then, the other thing this week that had everybody up at, well, not everybody, but a lot of the internet was talking about it nonstop in the news cycle, was the new Pope has been elected. I'm going to throw that in there because it affects pop culture. His opinions on pop culture are going to be reiterated in the press for the next couple of weeks as well. First American Pope elected, Pope Leo. I don't know what number after him because I didn't check that, but Pope Leo is going to be his name.
How do you go from being a Richard to go, I want to be Leo?
I think because they try to name the popes after certain characters in the Bible.
Certain saints usually, I believe. Yeah.
So
plus if he would have stick with Richard, everybody would be calling him the Dick.
Oh, Paul, come on. No, Paul.
If there's ever a Pope Richard, especially nowadays, that's what they're going to get. Yeah.
We'll call you Pope Pineapple Paul.
The cool thing is he is American, and he's from Chicago, so don't mess with this Pope. Yes,
I knew you were gonna say it. Yeah, that's a good saying. No, I'm curious how this is gonna affect pop culture in general, because pop culture is always affected by the opinions of people in positions that give interpretations of current laws or current doctrine. So we'll see. We'll see how this works out. Yep. Paul, any other interesting news?
Well, let's see. Let's see. Switch 2 prices may rise. The Disney stuff, Screamboat article. I think that's about it. Yeah, real quick and easy. See.
And I even got the new layout today for the long form video.
Ooh.
Yes, it's not super prime, but it's nice. It's nicer looking than last week's episode. So that's a plus. Although the neon sign was cool that I made.
Yep. Yeah, we need that neon thing, and that neon thing would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to get one of those made.
We could put it like streamers do, have it in the background. Of course, then I'd have to find a way to clean up the room behind me. I need a better streaming space. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all do. I do too. I got a small studio room behind me, and I got so many things that I'm always testing out, camera stuff, and So
Yep.
it's just interested to kind of smash it together.
So let's see. So we know that. So next week we'll have PAX stuff to talk about. I'm sure because all the information will be coming out of PAX over the next couple of days, and I'm gonna keep an not us, but I know for some of the PAX stuff, it's going to be streaming, like the panel streamed this morning for Mafia: The Old World. Um, but then so we'll have that next week. Plus we have, of course, June is right around the corner with the Xbox event coming out, and if you are going to be in LA for the Jeff Keighley gig, apparently the Xbox gang, a group of them are getting together to do a viewing party for the Xbox stuff there if you're in LA. So make sure you hook up with those guys, you know. Other
That
than
would be
that,
really cool.
I don't know what else. I think that's about it.
Yeah, that's it. So Paul, where can people find you?
You could find me on Twitter or X, formerly called Twitter, at Cerebral Paul 1. You can find me on Twitch at Cerebral Paul. You can find me here on, or you can find me on, excuse me, Tuesdays. Sometimes you can find me on Retro Renegades. Here you can find me on Thursdays, every Thursday, and Friday you can find me Ways with Wise. I also do articles and editing for both 4GQTV.com and, of course, the Lords of Gaming.net. So.
And everybody can find me at 4GQTV.com. We got a documentary that's in the works. Working title is Cosplayed. We're seeking grants, and that's it. All right, guys. Talk to you guys later. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.